Hey there, Superwomen. I am so excited to have my next guest. I'm really excited because one of the amazing things about some of the people I get to meet people that are in my same industry. And I just found that I have something else in common with her. She is amazing. She works with Living Way, and it's a community in UK. And I want to hear all about it, first of all. And I'm really excited because it's very similar to what I have done in my past as well. So I'm really excited. Put your hands together and welcome my guest, Sam. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Awesome, awesome. And okay, so first of all, just in just one or two sentences, tell me a little bit about Living Way, and then we'll ask, how did you get into that industry?
Okay, so Living Way are an owner and operator of build to rent, which is what we call it in the UK. In the
Hmm.
US, multifamily. So we have communities all across the northwest in England, and what that means is we own and we operate all of our own assets. So we run them as one.
Okay, awesome. And how many years have you been in that now?
Well, first of all, I started off in generic lettings, which was back in 2011. And then I moved
Hmm.
into, I'll say multifamily because it's more well known in the States. So I
Yeah.
moved into the
Hmm.
multifamily arena in 2014 when I started to operate one of my first buildings here in Manchester. And yeah, the rest is history. I'm still here.
So cool. So when you look back at your first year versus today, what would you say the biggest thing that has changed for you?
I think the biggest thing that has changed for me is me, if I'm honest with you, as a person. The individual who started their own business back in 2011 and was learning all about how to operate a business, how to look after people, and even just me, myself as an individual, I just feel like I've really that's the biggest thing that's grown and changed since those early days, for sure. My whole ethos, the way I think, the way I see things, yeah, completely different.
Wow. What's a moment that you're genuinely proud of? Like one you didn't see coming when you first started?
It was the moment that we got our first build to rent asset. Because I think before that we were doing individual landlord properties, and then I got this opportunity. And at that time, it was quite a small business. We're not a huge team now, but then we were much smaller. So there's only four of us, and I had this opportunity to pitch for this new building in Manchester. And yeah, we won that. And once I won that, that was when I instinctively knew that the creation of communities as a whole was definitely what I wanted to do. So I would definitely say that was a standout moment for me and the team that were involved at the time.
Yeah. Okay. So let me understand. So now walk me through your world, your team, who is carrying what and because it sounds like development that we do in the States. It sounds like, basically, it sounds like development to me.
Okay, we're not developers, that's for sure. So we do work with a developer. So what happens is we there's assets get brought to us on a regular basis as the owner. It will come to over to Living Way. Then we will partner with the developer. So we will always have say on the design, how the building looks, the flow, what the apartments are like. We will create that whole process and work alongside the developer. Only at the point that the building becomes finalised and it's fully built and it's functional does it get handed over, and then we kind of exchange money and then it becomes a Living Way asset. But ultimately, we run the whole operation side of it. So we look after the residents, we create all of the events, we create their lifestyle. It's really important to us. A lot of people say community, but community is a word that's very easy to say, but not very easy to actually create and build. and it's something that we're very focused on at Living Way. So I have a team here. Everything is run from head office. It's very similar to what happens in the States with multifamily. So we have centralized guys here in Manchester at head office, and then we have teams that are on site. And their duty on site is to look after the building and to take care of the residents and to make sure that that their living journey is a really pleasant one. But yeah, that's what we do. So we're operating everything ourselves as well in-house.
Wow, you've grown a real business. And how many assets do you have right now with Living Way?
7.
Congratulations. Since 2011?
Well,
Wow,
no,
that's amazing.
Living Way didn't actually come into the picture until around 2021. I had a previous business before that. And then because I don't own any of the Living Way buildings, so I met the guys who are our partners. I met them back in around 2021 through a mutual contact, and then we formed a relationship. And then I said, I know exactly how to do this, so I will found and start the operations side of the business.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So what would you say you're best known for? Like, what would your clients say that you do specifically, that comes from you specifically?
That comes specifically from me. I'm really good at vision. I'm really good at strategy, and I think, or I hope, and I hope my team would agree, I'm really good with people. In my eyes, the team come first, and I really enjoy helping the team to develop and progress. And if I can do that, that really does make me smile, because I want to see them do better, and I want to see them get more and have the lifestyles that they're looking for. So I think for me that comes first. So I think that's what clients would definitely say that I do best, especially with the vision. Marketing as well. I love marketing, and I'm quite good at that.
Oh, that's really good. So I ask every woman on this show the same question, and the answers are always very telling. If you stepped away, and I think even my assistant may have asked you this question, if you stepped away from your business for 90 days, what would happen?
I think it would still deliver, for sure, because the processes have been streamlined, everything's been put into place for the team. Maybe in all honesty, the essence may be lost a little bit, because I'm still here, I'm still pushing, I'm still driving. The job would get done, but maybe the finesse at the top might drop off slightly.
I got you. So how much then still runs through you? Like if you're pushing it, and this is an interesting thing because I wrote a book, right? That's one of the reasons why we reached out to you, because we were looking for amazing women in real estate. And I wrote a book called Beyond Hustle, and we all know what hustle is.
Yeah.
And the big question is to survey women to find out like what really still runs through you. What are you pushing on a normal day? What share of decisions still need to land on your desk?
I would say about 30% of the decisions still need to land on my desk. The generic day-to-day, not so much, because I've got a great COO in place, great community managers, so they tend to, they're good, they're out there rowing the boat. But when it comes to, it is me that will deal directly with the client initially. So I would say around 30% of the decisions need to be run by me before we can say yes or no.
Yeah, that's one of the things that almost no one says out loud. When we're building, you're growing, you're doing amazing. I mean, your business sounds amazing. You built something very successful. It depends on you. When did you first feel that? I mean, because you've already created a lot of systems. It sounds like 70% of it's running, right? But when do you like say, okay, I've got to figure out something for that 30%, or do you? Or is that even a thing?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. I think I think a lot of this lies with me as well because I am very much a visionary also. So every day in my head there will be new ideas.
Yeah.
Um and I will want to implement. I like to move fast. I think anybody who works at Living Way or who has worked at Living Way definitely knows that speed is of the essence with us, and I like to move
Yeah.
super quick. So I tend to do my decision making in the morning. I'm very much an early riser, up at 5 a.m. in the gym, sat behind the desk by before 8, and I get everything done then. So a lot of the decisions at that time are still being run by me. But if you understand what I'm saying, I think it's because I'm creating them as well in order to push things forward and make things happen much more quickly, or to develop, pivot, do something new, make something faster. So I possibly do create quite a lot of them myself.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I can totally understand that. That's who I am too. I really am. I love working. I love creating. You like marketing. I love marketing. It makes all the sense in the world. And we don't want to be not needed either, because we created this baby and we love creating more of it. I get that, all of that. What would you say is the hardest part of where you are right now, and then the challenge you're actually wrestling with?
Okay, so the hardest part, I think, for me is finding the right people to be in the business. I think that
Yeah.
is quite difficult. And because we are at a stage now where we are changing into the next stage of the business within growth. So for the next
Yes.
stage, we need different people to possibly what I needed a few years ago. So I find that bit really difficult because we all know as business owners we don't generally tend to know somebody properly until they've been with us 3 months or so,
Yeah.
and the CV may say one thing, and we have quite an intensive training program here at Living Way. Everyone will go through the same initial first 2 weeks, and then if somebody doesn't work out, that can put us back. We've got to do it again with the next person. And for me, if I have the right people in place, then it means that I can do the job I'm supposed to be doing as CEO, and not be getting into the weeds with other parts of the business where I shouldn't really be meddling in. If the guys, I tend to give the guys free rein and come to me if they need decisions making, because I want them to feel like the job is their own. But it is difficult because we have all different levels of team members here. So it is very difficult to find the right people for the right fit for the business, that will be here for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah, I
hardest
get
bit.
that. That makes sense. So
Yeah.
let's look forward. What are you intentionally building over the next 3 years? I know you're like, I just created something 3 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But what are you intentionally building over the next 3 years?
We're intentionally building a brand. Um, we know that Living Way is, of course, providing homes and communities, but ultimately, first and foremost, we are a brand. We are
Hmm.
very into wellness. We have ice
Oh, I
baths,
see.
saunas, rooftop hot tubs. We curate a lot of great partnerships with, for example, studios that are close to our buildings. So if we don't particularly have the space to run a yoga class, which we don't in all of our buildings, then we'll work with a local studio. We work with drinks brands, skincare brands as well. So intentionally, we want to create this elevated way of living, and we do really focus it about wellness and well-being. So that's what we're striving for sure in the future.
That's amazing. Oh my goodness. And the bigger question, are you building something that could run without you? If you, started building this brand where you're now doing, I don't know, TV deals and big brand deals and big commercials and yoga studios and, come into the US or something, are you building something that could run without you or something you could scale, sell, pass on someday?
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to be able to stand on its own 2 feet and run without me. But I know what I'm like, and so I'll just start something else. That's what would happen.
Of course. Of course. What would freedom actually look like for you if the business served your life instead of the other way around? Like if you, I mean, you're young still, so I'm not saying that you're even thinking about this, but what would that look like?
I think it's choice for me. So whilst I would still
Options.
want to be, yeah, whilst I would still want to be in the day to day, I think it would be because right now I come to the office, I'm in the office 3 days a week. I travel further than anybody else, but I think I would like it to be at the point where maybe I don't necessarily have to be in the office and I have to think right now. So if I wanted to go away somewhere next week, I have to think about all the components of what would happen here. And I'd like to be at a stage where I can say, right, okay, I'm an Ibiza addict, by the way. Absolutely love the place, go 3 times a year. I would love to
Hmm.
be able to say, right, okay, I need to go away for a few days next week. So I want to, I'm just going to head off. I'm going to take some think time. I think to be able to do that would feel like freedom for me. And also, to be able to spend, I am a bit of a workaholic. I think all of us are. But to
Yeah.
be more present, I suppose, at home would be a good thing. But do we ever get that? I don't know. I don't know if we ever do.
Very true. Okay, so I want some wisdom for the room. Okay.
Okay.
For the woman listening who is a few steps behind you,
Yeah.
still in the hustle, doing it all herself, what would you want her to know?
I think keep going, trust your gut and trust your judgment, and never ever take any failure or knockback as a negative. I have learned the most I've ever learned through things that have gone wrong and still do to this day. So never take anything as a negative, take everything as a lesson. Whilst we have bad days, we just get back up and we go again because nothing's ever that bad.
So true. So true. What's one thing you do differently or sooner?
I would be more conscious with every situation I'm getting into. So I will read every contract now. If something comes to you and it seems too good to be true, then always read between those lines, read every legal contract. If you don't have the money to get yourself some legal advice, then get some from somewhere, because sometimes when you do that, that can save bad things from happening because you ran into something head first because you've seen it as this big, shiny beacon, and then it's not turned out to be that way. So just protect yourself legally at all costs. I think that's very, very important.
Yes, I love it. Where can people find you and support what you're building, support Living Way, find out more about your properties?
You can fact we're all over the place. We are on. I've got my own Instagram as well, which is Sam Hay Property, which is on Instagram, and we also, of course, have Living Way Homes as well, which is on Instagram. We're also on TikTok, and we have our own website, livingway.co.uk.
I love it. Sam, thank you so much. This is exactly the kind of conversation this show exists for. You're doing amazing work. Thank you so much. And I look forward to getting to know you more.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.